What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 38, and we start today's episode off with a few emails here as we officially end season 2, and the most noteworthy thing to read there is that Luke Gallagher has indeed been sold for a very small fee. That is of course one of our youth academy strikers that came out of the academy under 60 overall, so we can't check his potential, and of course as we know this guy's got 1-star skill moves, and if an outfield player has got 1-star skill moves, he's basically got no place in my team. If you can't do a step over on the pitch, then yeah, you're not going to make it in my side. So Gallagher sold there for a small fee, and I'm totally fine with that. And also some more player training, where as you can see, McCall is now up to a 74 rated goalkeeper, and Koulibaly is 61 rated. So nice to see those lads progressing in training. Of course, in the last episode I did discuss we will be changing up the training for season 3, and of course you'll see the changes take effect throughout the first few episodes of the new season. And as we do officially end season 2, I see Mousse is coming back from his long-term ACL, which means he might be able to play at the start of next season. We get our end of season review here, and whilst the board say we didn't hit all of our objectives, they believe it was overall a satisfactory performance, and therefore will be staying on here at Bramwell Lane for a third straight season. So season 3 begins today, a brand new season. Of course, as it is Saturday morning, guys, if you want a double episode upload day today and another guaranteed quadruple upload weekend, get this video to 1,000 likes, and I'll upload the next episode later on today after the football. So here we are, season 3 begins, and we began a new season by taking a look at the league table for our upcoming year and taking a look at our new 3 promoted sides. Cardiff City, of course, promoted to the Premier League. Aston Villa are back in the top flight, as are Southampton, who of course won the championship last year. So those 3 are the new promoted sides to the Premier League for our 3rd season here at Bramwell Lane. And we also see straight after that as well, the transfer market is indeed open. It's time to make some new signings with this Sheffield United side. Last year we got £17 million in our budget. How much would we get this year? Well, it is £23.5 million. So it's up from last year, but it's not up by much. 23.4 to £5 million in our budget. With some wage budget alterations, you're probably looking at around £23 million in our budget. And I gotta be honest here, I'm kind of glad, but I'm also kind of mad. And yeah, you can put that bloody meme in the bottom right if you want once again, because I am kind of glad, because it's going to keep it quite realistic once again. We're not going to get £60 million, just go sign Jadon Sancho. We're going to keep it realistic for season 3, but the reason I'm kind of mad is because the aims for this year by the board domestically are unbelievably strong. Now you see our full objectives here, our youth development objective to have within 2 seasons, 1 player from youth academy side in the first season play at least 50% of the games in the next season. Doable, but it does mean one of our youth prospects is going to come out of the academy and look really, really good, hopefully, and that's how that objective will be hit. Of course, our brand exposure objective remains the same, still not in Europe yet, but look at our domestic games for season 3. Once again in the FA Cup, reached around the 32 stage. Last year, of course, reached the quarter-final, so without question, we're going to reach around the 32 stage. But in the league, in the Premier League this year, we've got to finish in a Europa League spot. We've got to finish in a Europa League spot in season 3. And of course, in the game, 5th place is the only guaranteed Europa League spot. 6th and 7th could perhaps qualify for the Europa League, depends what happens in the Carabao and the FA Cup. But finishing a Europa League spot in season 3 with this squad with £23.5 million. I mean, really, that is very, very tough of the board to ask us to do that. You know, this side, is it good enough to finish in the top half of the table after our first 2 seasons? Absolutely no question. That was going to be my aim heading into season 3. This squad has got enough quality to finish in the top 10 for the first time in the series. Is it good enough to finish in 5th place? I mean, let's be realistic here. I don't think so. I really don't. As you take a look at the team, you see Davy Prupper is in for the new season, our free transfer coming in after his pre-contract agreement from Brighton last season. Look, this is a team that's young, it's a team that's youthful, and it's growing, and it's getting better year after year. But is this team good enough to take out 2 teams out of Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs and Chelsea? We've got to finish in 5th place for a guaranteed Europa League spot. Are we good enough to take out 2 of those teams there and finish in 5th? I mean, listen here, all I'll say is this. If we're going to do it, it's on the kids this year. The kids are going to have to grow, the kids are going to have to improve drastically, and they're going to have to perform on the pitch. The kids are going to have to come of age this year, really, because we've got such a youthful reserve squad at this Sheffield United side. Of course, some of them now are breaking into the first 11, Ollie Shaw, of course, being the standout, now 78 rated our left back. If we're going to make it into the Europa League for Season 4, it's on the kids this year to really step up and deliver and come of age in Season 3. It's a very tough aim from the board, and again, the budget I'm actually okay with, because whilst it is lower than I was expecting, I was hoping for around £30 million. It's kind of good, because again, I don't want it to be unrealistically high, and therefore we just improve this side and bring in some staff players that could easily be playing in Europe already, where of course we're not even in the European competition yet. I'm kind of glad that the budget is how it is. I thought the board were going to say finish in the top half. That's what my objective is for this season, but instead the chairman is going crazy, saying we've got to finish in the Europa League, and this really pissed me off afterwards when he comes to me once again for the second straight year, gives me a transfer budget increase, and this year he says we're excited to have me on board for another season. Based on our performance last season and the budget savings we made, the board of directors decided to increase the club's transfer budget this year with £442,000. Cheers, Chairman. Thanks a lot. That's definitely going to get us into Europa League this year. Piss off. Anyway, so £23.5 million in our budget. Expected to finish in the Europa League. What are we going to do in a transfer window? Well, we've got to sign players that are good value for money. As you would have seen our shortlist in the last episode, in the in-depth special look at the save, we looked for our shortlist, and I thought this guy would be the one that would represent the best value for money deal. Jordan Torunariga of Hertha Berlin. He is the German centre-half who, of course, we had in our Millwall Football Manager save a couple of years ago, where he was very, very good. We know this guy is very good in the game. His overall we can't see now because the scout report's been lost due to the 2-year max scout report hold. But we know this guy's release clause is £8.4 million. He's valued at around £8.4 million. He's worth way more than £8.4 million. I saw Watford have put a bid in for him. I thought, I'm not going to let him go to Vicarage Road. We got to snatch him before the Hornets can pick him up, and that's exactly what we do. He wanted a wage decrease. Of course we weren't going to accept that. We give him 20 grand a week, and Jordan Torunariga becomes our first signing here at Bramwell Lane for £8.4 million. We've got to make sure we get good value for money in this summer window, and this is an absolute steal. Jordan is just 23 years old. He's already valued higher now than his current release clause, with his key stats there being strength, sprint speed, stand tackle, heading, interceptions, and slide tackle as well. High medium work rate, 6'3", left-footed centre-half, can also play left back as well. Physically, this guy's quick and strong as well. Reads the game well with good composure and interceptions. Defensively, very good. We've not too bad on the ball stats either. Very happy with his signing. 75 rated. He's going to play a big part in our team this year. Torunariga becomes our first signing, and again that already takes out quite a bit of our budget. We're now down to about £16 million remaining in our transfer budget after our first signing there. But again, we've got to get good value for money deals, and Torunariga is definitely the best value for money deal. Comes in, it'll take John Egan's place on the bench. Whilst he is 2 ratings lower, he's 5 years younger, and as we know, he will grow to a higher overall. And of course, John Egan's probably going to get sold in this summer window as well. He won't slide into our first 11 yet, but as backup for O'Connell, McKenna and Godfrey, I'm very, very happy with that signing right there. Jordan, welcome to Bramwell Lane. And you might notice this year as well, we are going to start to go further afield a little bit in European leagues too. Obviously, in the first 2 seasons, we kept it strictly to the British Isles, staying with the SPL, the Premier League, and also lower leagues in English football as well. But for this upcoming season, I am going to branch out just a little bit further, because it's realistic. We're starting to become a bit more of a Premier League reputable club, and therefore we can now start to scout a little bit further outside of our range and look in the European leagues for some more talent. But also we saw here Ben Osborne had a bid from Nunez, and of course Ollie Shaw, our first choice left back. Now Osborne's not going to be first choice in this team. Koulibaly, of course, we're waiting to turn 16 years old. Once he does turn 16, he'll probably be our backup left back. Osborne's out of contract in the summer. He's not going to get a new deal. 26 years old, only 74 rated, and it was funny that the Argentine Nunez came in for him, because if you remember last season, this is the same club that beat Ender Stevens. What is it about this side and signing our backup left backs? First Stevens goes to this this Argentine club. Now Osborne's going there for £5 million. So we negotiated the deal there, £5 million for Osborne. And, you know, we got some players on the transfer list there. All the players have got their contract coming at the end of the year. You got Osborne, Baldock, Lundstrom's there as well. Vega too. He was wanted by this side here, which we accepted this deal, £730,000. You know, this side is not the thickest in terms of depth, particularly not in quality. But if we are going to raise a bit more cash to sign some better players for our first team, we do need to raise a few pennies here and there. And selling those players that are fringe players and also only have 1 or 2 years left on their deals is probably the best way to do that. So Osborne is going to Argentina to join Ender Stevens. How weird is that? And there we go. Hopefully Koulibaly turns 16 as well, so I can promote him soon enough and put him as our backup left back for all he's sure. But also Mitrovic, the Serbian striker, part of the Fulham side that was relegated last year at Craven Cottage. I thought it would be quite realistic to keep Mitrovic in the Premier League. As we know in real life, having a great season in the second tier of English football. I tried to swap Fulham Lys Mousset for Mitrovic and a bit of cash as well. They wanted 30 million, which is 11 million over Alexander's valuation, plus Mousset as well. And I was like, lads, you can forget that, man. Seriously, there is no way I'm spending my entire budget and giving up a 75 rated striker for Mitrovic. Yes, of course, he's a really good player, but there's no way I was going to agree to a deal if it was anything more than 15 million plus Mousset. Fulham in the end just walked out negotiations, and I said, fair enough, you can keep him in the Championship, we'll stick with what we've got right now. So obviously a little bit disappointing. Mitrovic was my main target for a new striker for season 3, and as we did struggle in front of goal last year, I thought it'd be a realistic signing and an improvement on our current striker as well, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. He stays at Craven Cottage and we'll stick with what we got for now. But following the failed negotiations there, we got a bid here for George Baldock. KAA Ghent wanted to take him to Belgium for under his valuation at £1.9 million. Of course, he's out of contract in the summer. He might not get a new deal. 28 years old, only 71 rated. But I've said this before, I like George Baldock. You know, even though Bogle is our first choice right back for the foreseeable future, when Baldock plays, despite his low overall, he always seems to put in a really good shift, both on the offensive end and on the defensive end as well. And of course, I have a bit of soft spot for Baldock. He used to play against him in junior football. But Baldock, he'll be staying here for now at least. KA again walked out negotiations with an offer of £2.4 million, which was only 300 grand more than he's valued right now. So for the time being, he'll be staying here. I've got no reason to panic sell Baldock. For the time being, he'll stay as our backup right back, and I'm totally fine with that. We did see 2 players get sold though. Ben Osborne is off to Nunez to join Ender Stevens as he joins up with his former teammate there. I still find that so crazy. And also Vega got sold as well. We've got around £4 million added to our budget for the pair. That takes our current transfer budget up now to about £20 million. So a little bit more cash to play with in the budget after those 2 sales there. And also I found this guy on the free transfer list as well. Bruno Sotero da Cunha, a Brazilian right back with medium high work rates. Looks pretty quick off the mark. Didn't have a full scout report on the guy just yet, but from what I could see, looked pretty decent when going forward. And this is why you've always got to check the free agents pool every single year, guys. For the most part, every player in there is going to be trash. But now and then, you might find one little hidden gem. Last year we got Pele. This year we found Bruno. And as you can see, we agree a 4-year deal, sporadic squad role, so he's okay being a backup right back. 10.5 grand a week contract, 94 grand sign-on bonus, and Bruno signs on a free transfer. And as you'll see his stats here, he's 70 rated, so 8 years younger than Baldock, but only 1 rating lower. And as you can see, his stats are pretty decent. He's quick off the mark. He's got very good crossing and curve as well, which I really like when going forward. Bruno is in for season 3, and like I said, we need to get good value for money deals in our 3rd season with once again a very low transfer budget. Jordan Torunariga for under his valuation, Bruno on a free transfer, and Davy Pripper on a pre-contract. We didn't have much money to play for, but we are definitely spending our pennies wisely. But that was today's episode of Career Window, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed the episode, then please do drop a like. Don't forget 1,000 likes, and I'll see you for the next episode later on tonight. So there is your challenge, 1,000 likes, and we'll have another quadruple upload weekend.